Okay, good morning again. So sorry for the mix-up, but here we're here now. And Abubakar Udu Idris MNI, former head of service in Kebbi State, he's our guest this morning. And so I should say good morning to you.
Good morning
to you. Okay. The news is what's out there. Atiku resigns. There are those who, some are saying, in fact, somebody has said he was shocked. Others have said that they are not surprised at all, not in the least. I wonder what you think about this, Atiku resigning, continuing his quest, I imagine, for
the top office in the country. That are following political events in this country knew for certain that he will resign from the PDP. So there's nothing surprising about it. We all saw it coming.
There's nothing surprising. Nothing surprised you?
Absolutely nothing surprised because prior to his resignation from the PDP, he has been attending this ADC meeting very often. Yes. So,
okay. And it does seem that, well, especially, we don't know how it's going to go. Because the way it is now, the one thing that is quite clear is that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is bent on contesting for, the presidency wherever. And if it's not going to be possible in PDP, then he'll be heading out to wherever it is possible. Atiku Abubakar has actually, I think this must be the third time or so that he has actually exited the PDP. And we don't know if he'll come back or not, but this is what we have. I don't know what you feel about his ambition, because he does have a right to that ambition, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, like any other Nigerian. You can contest as much as he wants, but it's left for the electorate to make the ultimate decision for his political future.
Indeed, indeed. And we played at the top just before we sort of had sorted ourselves out. Governor Seyi Makinde has been saying that, even they were both party mates, members of the same party, has said that his moving on is not going to affect very much. And other PDP people have been saying that. But do you think Alhaji Atiku could appeal to the northern block of votes, reported to be in the region of 12 million, that the late, highly respected Muhammadu Buhari seemed to guarantee in any election? Do you think Atiku is making a ploy for any of that, for a part of that?
No, you see, I'm not very comfortable making speculation. But the fact of the matter is that he will make an impact. There's no doubt about
that. You were saying the fact of the matter is that
he will make an impact.
Okay.
In the upcoming election, yes.
Okay. You think he is going to make an impact? Do you think he's going to? Do you think it's going to be of any serious consequence to the incumbent, the president, whose party APC? Of course, they will also be seeking a second term. So
yeah,
do you think this is going to make any difference?
It will. It will absolutely make. You see, Atiku is somebody that has what many politicians aspiring for national election doesn't have. That is, he has name recognition. Almost all Nigerians knew the person of Atiku Abubakar. So you either hate him on the position of knowledge or you dislike him out of sheer ignorance. And whether one like it or not, Atiku is a political force in the history of this republic.
Oh, I see. Well, with the way things are now, I guess we'll just have to wait and see where it's going. People from his own party, well, when I'm saying his own party, we should be saying former party now. I think Olabade George, former, national vice chairman, Southwest, has said that he's the person who said he was shocked, actually, and that what exactly is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, what is he looking for? But, it's a desire to run, so to that extent, he can be forgiven for it. but whether it will actually make the impact. It's interesting, you've just said that it will have some effect, but you didn't want to progress that to perhaps this is now a game changer. Do you see what has happened as anything of a game changer? Because the governor of Oyo State, as you've just heard, has said that it's okay, not very much is going to be affected.
Well, you see, the Makenda's opinion is a private opinion, and everybody hosts his opinion. And you see, one beautiful thing about democracy is that no matter your position, age, or gender, you have only one vote. And for that reason, for anybody to say Atiku Abubakar is not going to impact on the next presidential election, he or she is not speaking the truth.
Well, and you would know because you're a man who has gone through election cycles yourself. There was a time when you wanted to be the governor of your beloved Kebbi State, so you sort of will know the mechanics and the dynamics of elections generally. So when you say that anybody who thinks that this will not make some kind of a mark probably doesn't understand the dynamic of politics. But could you explain it to us a bit? You've just spoken from a position of knowledge and knowing the terrain, knowing the environment. Could you speak to us from that position of knowledge, how you think, the rationale for your thinking that it's going to make a change?
Yeah, you see, sometimes I always say that winning second term by a sitting government is just like walkover, because only sitting government has the wherewithal to bring about desirable change in line with the hope and aspiration of the people. But a situation whereby a number of Nigerians are dissatisfied with the way things are going in this country. Anybody, not to talk of Atiku, anybody that is contesting for presidential election will impact the result of the next presidential election. But and I always believe that it is the failings of the governing party that is virtually helping the opposition party. For example, now, in Nigeria as a whole, any leader that can bring about security in this country the vote of the mass of our people is guaranteed to him. Or anybody that can bring about desirable changes that will impact positively on the life of our people, he or she will get a vote. Like now, only recently, like I said earlier, that a second term election is a walkover for a sitting government. Recently, I learned Mr. President has appointed a committee to look into the possibility of reducing the cost of petroleum product. This will help the governing party. And another thing is that the issue of opening borders will help the local traders, without doubt. So there are so many things that a sitting government can do that the opposition is in no position to do it. But when you don't do it, then you hinge your success to primordial loyalties. You are bound to fail. So this is my take.
I see. That's what you mean in that sense now. Mr. Joshua in Irewolide, good morning to you, sir.
Obiori, good morning to you, and good morning to your guest.
Yes.
I'm happy that I can join you this morning. Uncle Yori, the issue about Atiku, I think it's a good thing for Nigeria that we are still talking about Atiku, who happens to be among the people of the old bloc, as it were. You see, whether Atiku is going to come or not is not an issue for me. But the 2027 Atiku is a platform to actually explain to Nigerians what he forgot in Aso Rock, that he is trying to take, or what he wants to give to us in Nigeria. So I think the president condolences to Nigeria and to his family. That is the former president Buhari. I opened up for us the need to answer the question of the leadership we want in Nigeria? Is it leadership about individuals or leadership about institutions? You see, I've watched all your programs, and we keep talking about Buhari is a honest man, Buhari is has integrity and all that. Which are all the virtues that you have? That is Uncle Yori. You have all those virtues. Your body language, everything about you says a honest man, straightforward, but in leadership, the question is not more whether a leader is honest or not. Can that honesty be translated to an institution, to a structure? Can that thing last beyond the person of that individual as a leader? That's the question we have not answered. And for me, that is what the present president is trying to address through reforms. It's not enough to say I am honest. It's not enough to say I have integrity, I'm fighting corruption. You can't do all those things by yourself. Your integrity matters nothing when it is not institutionalized. That's what has been failing Nigerians. And we have been looking to a leader who will come and save us. Nigerians have syndrome mentality. We want somebody who will come quickly, press that button, press that one. So anyone that comes and drops things around and say this and that, everybody will just latch onto the person. And at the end of the day, we get nothing. Just to close it, in my conversation with you this morning, one of your guests in the live broadcast said, when President Buhari got into office after IPC won, they wanted to start the empowerment, social empowerment programs. He said there was the cabinet. People resisted it. Nigerians saying these were just campaign promises. Trying now to roll out this program, it work in Nigeria. So showing you that without institutions, the very Nigerians that we are hoping are coming to leadership and make an impact will be the ones that will frustrate the system. The first four team was frustrated by Saraki because he staged a civilian coup. He was naive. He wasn't playing the politics of these guys like the likes of Atiku. So Saraki hijacked government from him, and his first 4 years was a waste of time for Nigerians. The second 4 years was because to do. But leadership to translate to institutionalizing things that will work for us, not just about Atiku, about Buhari, about anybody. Let us go for somebody who will build this.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. Towards the end, it's sort of the voice sort of scrambled a bit, but we heard the bulk, 95%, if not a bit more, of what you were saying. So, Alhaji Abubakar, what he was saying in there, I don't know if you had any particular take on it. That it's not so much the people as the institutions, and I think he was sort of alluding to the fact that no matter how good a person is, he's coming into this milieu that we have here, and the institutions are bereft of all the values that we want because we haven't so empowered them. Do you think that is a strong factor in this whole game here, the fact that the institutions are bereft of the qualities that we think will move us forward?
I think I share part of his sentiment. We actually have weak institutions. But a lot of people seem to forget the fact that institutions are manned and driven by humans. Except you have political education around this country, you will never have strong institutions. Because, like I said, institutions are manned by human beings. And when you have a strong leader, there is tendency, like what is happening in America, President Trump has virtually destroyed all American all institutions in America. So it's just like a case of the difference between black and white. You see, you cannot have strong institutions when you don't have strong individuals that mind that they are protected by the law of the land, and everybody is at one with those laws and the regulation.
Mm-hmm.
You can hate say Obasanjo, but Obasanjo is a strong leader, whether you like it or not, and he can achieve results. You see, I always say it's not a crime to have a goal and fail to realize it, but it's a crime not to have a goal at all.
Okay.
You see, we are operating in a system that is diverse of ideas and ideology. And we're in a country where everybody is to himself and God for us all. And you cannot build a country that still citizens are questioning the validity, unity, and stability of that country. So we have to be citizens instead of tribalists and regionalists.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mazi Okoroafo, thank you for holding on. Go ahead now, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, our guests. Honestly speaking, when we talk about politics in Nigeria, I used to say people that research showed us that politics in Nigeria is based in terms of money and power. But now that Atiku says it's no longer a bit, but the thing is that there is something I want us to look at, the issue of Nigerian politics. Nigerian politics is that there is no sportsmanship in terms of Nigerian politics. What do I mean by sportsmanship? That when you join a particular party, you sit down with that particular party, no matter the ups and downs, no matter the advantages and disadvantages along the line, you still stay put in the party. Why am I saying this? When we look at American politics, you see the Republican and the Democrats. They stick to their party, they'll be there. Whether they win or they lose, they will still be there. But here in Nigeria, when Mr. A or Miss A misses what he wants in a particular party, he will now delay to look for what? To open his own political party, gather some people there. That is not politics. That is why I still insist that the start work has shown that politics in Nigeria is based on two cardinal things. One, power. Two, money. The third one now I've turned to that the join together, making it three now, is this ego, which is not healthy. Honestly speaking, I'll tell our Nigerian politicians, for us to move forward in terms of democracy in this country, stick to a particular party. Even when these people go to National Assembly, the camp, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make. At the end of the day, every day the politics continue dangling. We don't know where Mr. A is going. Now look at that. I think INEC said they have between 150 or 160 political parties presently. Now we don't know before 2027 whether they will reach 200 or something or 300 or something political. Which voters card of voters that will carry all these names? How do we operate? Honestly speaking, it is not a question of creating. Manage the one you can. That is why I tell people that power belongs to God. If God says you know, that is why you go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. He will tell you there is beginning for everything. There is time for things. There is time for God. There is time for fire. That is why they say that vanity upon vanity, all vanity. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Nigeria. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okoroafo. Alhaji Abubakar, you see, when this was coming, when this opposition coalition, when it was coming along, I had heard, I think it was, I had heard Nasir El-Rufai say that, look, it's not even about presenting any individual presenting himself for leadership. The first thing was to get together in that party, strategize, sort out their ideology, and thereafter they can all now jointly agree, among themselves who would indeed be the presidential candidate. Now, Atiku Abubakar has left the PDP. PDP was not going to give him that ticket. He sort of saw it along the way. It was not going. Now he has left. We'll imagine for the moment that he's going to join in with ADC. So what is the assurance? Because it has been said that everybody who has gone into ADC, everybody, the word everybody was probably a slight exaggeration, but everybody that has gone into the ADC, they just want to be the presidential candidate. Now, you can only have one presidential candidate. And if Alhaji Atiku is moving towards ADC, in his mind, he must think that, yep, I'm going to where I will get the presidential ticket. So what do we do with that? But before you answer, sir, let me take another caller so I don't have to interrupt you. Good morning, Reverend Dominic.
Good morning, Chief Yori. How are you today?
Very well, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Yori, can I hear you?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yori, let me answer your guest outside studio. I didn't saw his name from Kebbi State. Let me answer.
Okay, no, that's Alhaji Abubakar Udu Idris, MNI.
Okay. I hope you can hear me.
He's the former head of service in Kebbi State.
Yes, I hope you can hear me.
He can. He's in.
Okay. Let me answer him direct. Even though we have the worst government today in Nigeria, there's no southern man, there's no southern woman that would like to vote another northerner to become another president. This is why their lives are not having common understanding and common sense. Mr. President today have common understanding of Nigerian politics and common sense. When he hit at the presidency once, he won that election because he was a strategic man. The plan was straight and good, and the optics was right that the Southerners will take over governance. How did they think that after 8 years of government in the North, that Southerners should also vote another man from the North? It's mission impossible. Goodluck Jonathan did not lose election because he was a bad president or the country was that bad. He lost because the Northerners were agitating. He was sitting on the own time of, Yar'Adua. And we in the South agree with them that to balance the question, power has to go back to North. How do Atiku Abubakar think that we're going to vote another Northerner after 8 years of power in the North? Emotions and sentiments apart. The 8 years of the Northern presidency coach, was it better than today? No. Whether they like it or not, Ashwaji must finish his 8 years for the South. Then he will go back to the North. I'm so glad this morning that Atiku have gone to wherever he wants to go. As long as Atiku will contest, PDP will contest, the easiest election that we're going to have in this nation will be 2027. It will be a walkover for our own president. What they're doing is working for us. Tinubu is going to finish his 8 years. It's cast on stone, whether they like it or not. So for him to say bad governance, how was governance 8 years ago? They must be fair to themselves to say things they say on television. If they say today that the nation is going through challenges, how was this nation 8 years ago? Emotions apart. So I think he's a good planner. He doesn't have common sense in planning. If you like to contest, 10 of him contest in 2027, we are going to beat him clean and clear.
All right then. Let Alhaji Abubakar respond to that.
I really appreciate his intervention. But let me say a word, let me tarry a bit and say a word or two about Mr. Mazi's intervention. That is, in other climes, people don't change political parties like we do here in Nigeria. But the fact of the matter is that in all other climes, political parties are established based on principles and ideology, programs, and so on and so forth. But in Nigeria, political parties are formed essentially on personality basis. Who is here and who is there? This one is my uncle, this one is my brother, this one can bankroll the election, this one is a poor man, and so on and so forth. So this is why we can't be like America he mentioned. When you vote for, say, Democrat or Republican, you know specifically the policies and the program you are voting for. But in Nigeria, is indeed the case. Secondly, about the gentleman that just intervened about whether the North like it or not. But let me make this point very clear. I am a Northerner, a Muslim, and a Fulani, Hausa, Fulani, and so on and so forth. But I have nothing to do with the idea of saying a president should come from this part of the country or this or the other part of the country. You see, for me, anybody, regardless of regional, ethnic or tribal differences, if he can bring security to where I live and Nigeria at large, I have no problem with that person. And anybody who will make life better for me and the Nigerians, I'm good to go with him. You see, the idea of saying somebody should come from this place, apart from the fact that nobody decides his tribe, and sometimes where you are born, and so on, where you decide to live in life, it depends on so many variables, not necessarily living in a particular ethnic group or in a particular region and so on. It's where life is better for one. And the idea of saying that whether the North like it or not, I think it's neither here nor there, because democracy is about winning election. And based on the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, nobody becomes a president essentially based on a vote of any region or any part of the country. You have to get at least two-sided majority across two sides of this country. So, sometimes, as much as one would not like to address individual weaknesses, you see, it is this kind of talks that actually alienate people. You can't say you want my vote, and you can say you can do without me. I mean, decide not to even vote. And neither Atiku nor Mr. President is voting. Is contesting election as a member belonging to a particular ethnic group or particular region or religious group. After all, in the last election, which region of this country Mr. Tinubu got his highest votes? Is it not from the north? So please, those who support the continuation of the present order should kindly watch their words, because you cannot abuse me and think that I will vote for you. I always believe second-term election is almost a walkover for a sitting government, because Mr. President has what it takes to change the life of Nigeria, to bring about security, to bring about, to control the galloping inflation we're experiencing and so on and so forth, which has nothing to do with region, religion, or ethnicity.
Okay.
So, but the idea of abusing people, of thinking that we don't matter, it doesn't help the cause of the government.
Okay then. What I doubt if that was the actual intention of his utterances, but I hear you and he is hearing you. I'll take a break now. We're staying with us. Our guest is Alhaji Abubakar Udu Idris, MNI, former head of service in Kebbi State. He's also quite experienced in electioneering matters. He himself has striven to be the governor of Kebbi State. He didn't make it, but then the experience is invaluable. Now, when you were speaking earlier, you said that what you want to go with is the person who will deliver. Whoever will do well for Nigeria is who you are going to be giving your vote to. Now, of course, that's what any logical, reasonable person would say. But there's an unwritten understanding, isn't there, that there should be this rotational thing. You seem to indicate in there that you don't particularly subscribe to any such notion. Yet it was done for the sake of when this agreement was sort of put in place. But as I said, unwritten, it was to ensure a sense of belonging to all parties.
You see, this idea of giving sense of belonging to all parties in Nigeria, it depends on people subscribe to this idea because it suits their interests. But in some cases, you find that this notion of inclusiveness is not there. Like in advanced countries, you have this principle of giving every part of their country's sense of belonging. But in Nigeria, when you start to implement it, they will say, okay, this one is not qualified, this one is not so. But in the end, the leadership, instead of spreading, say, appointment and so on, legacies of, or what we call here in Nigeria, dividend of democracy. They take them to their villages and hamlets, as if their villages and hamlets or their families constitute their region or ethnic group and so on and so forth. But be that as it may, there is nothing wrong. I personally don't oppose this principle of rotation, but rotation should not be a panacea for perpetuating wrongdoing. You see, neither Atiku nor Mr. President represent their region per se, because you hear dissenting voice from all parts of the country and so on and so forth. because people are not allowed to select the best among them. Like we say in Nigeria, we never bring our first 11 to lead us. It's not based on merit. It's just based on, not necessarily because you come from, can you finance an election that guarantees a victory in a given sense. No, because like I said, no ethnic group or political group, no ethnic group, regional or something that can guarantee political victory. You see, what Nigeria needs is effective leadership, regardless of your ethnicity. I didn't decide my ethnic group, like I said, up in Ashim. But here I am, a northerner, a Hausa Fulani, and a Muslim. I know, but even though religious is by choice. But then there are circumstances that influence one's decision. So the idea of saying that, Mr. President, since the North had 8 years, Mr. President as a person must have second term, must. Where the most? Is he the only Southerner? Or the only person from Southwest? He is not. Now, suppose when Yar'Adua died, did the North vanish because Yar'Adua died? And good luck took over. What did we lose as an individuals? And sometimes even as a... So
okay.
People...
I get you. I get you. Let me bring on George, who has called in from Lagos. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yuri. Yeah. And good morning to the former FSG.
Yes.
Uncle Yuri, kindly permit me to continue from where Reverend Dominic stopped.
Please, go ahead.
I have a few questions for the former SSG.
Former head of service. Head of
yes.
service.
Head of service, yes, in Kebbi State.
That's right.
In the first place, if that question you posed to him, if you were to pose it to me, I would say Atiku will not make any meaningful impact in the coming elections. Reasons abound. In the first place, what is he coming to do differently? We have been running a superficial economy where the exchange rate of our currency is gagged in favor of people who want to pocket money. They run the system down, and you buy dollar with 200 naira and go and sell it 200 naira. You don't do any business, and you are a billionaire. How the government is borrowing money from international institutions to gag our currency. That is not a system that can sustain itself. You cannot attract international investors. If a current president that introduces it leaves, the system cannot sustain itself. That is the difference between what we do here and what they do in other developed countries that we are striving to emulate. Now, the first subsidy that was removed is Atiku coming back to restore it. We saw how it has been draining the country dry inside people's pockets. Since the subsidy has been removed, we are seeing governors seeing about 4 times, 3 times what they were getting before. And the money is being used for one project or the other in different states. Only yesterday on Kuyori, the inflation rate dropped from 34% to 22.2%. The cost of living became high when the exchange rate was allowed to remain where it should be naturally when it was floated. But in the course of time, it almost got to 2,000 naira. Today, it is 1,510, 1,502, and things like that. It's coming down. The same thing with the price of petrol that has been dictating the pace of living standard in our country. Insecurity that the gentleman is talking about was there when Atiku was vice president. Boko Haram was started 2009. Atiku was still in power then. So why did he not extinguish it if it was easy to do? We have to be realistic in our country. Reverend Dominic pointed out something. That even though it is not a written matter in our constitution, rotational presidency between the North and the South is only commonsensical. so that one section of the country do not become marginalized. And there's no other thing that I have seen who argued against it. Yet, some people are saying you can come from anywhere. The country, Nigeria, has not developed in our political thinking to that extent. We must admit that. I am not able to see anything that this current president is not doing that Atiku is coming to do, unless he wants to introduce special purpose vehicles that we are used to in his own time. All the corporations that he has sold to their cronies that didn't work, are they going to bring them back? Thank goodness to Dangote, who decided to use his own money to bail us out, that we now have a refinery in our country that can stop the drain of foreign exchange from our system. We have to appreciate that.
Okay.
We have to be very realistic. I don't see, as someone who is an elite that has held that post in government, I wasn't expecting the speaker to hold on to the position he was holding on to. That you can come from anywhere.
All right. Very, very well made point, Mr. George. Thank you very much for calling in. Alhaji Abubakar, I mean, we can either move on, or if you didn't have any comment that you wanted to put on that.
No, I have.
Okay.
Let me appreciate the fact that Mr. George is with us, but then let me use this opportunity to disabuse his mind. I'm not, by no means, and I think I was emphatic, I'm not against rotational presidency. I'm not against it. And I believe that every section of this country should be given a sense of belonging. I'm not against it. And I'm not here conversing for anybody. And all the challenges he pointed out, I mean, it appears as if he's decampaigning Mr. President, because the issue of oil subsidy you mentioned, Mr. President was the brain behind it. But then we knew that subsidy cannot continue based on the information we are getting, all the feelers coming from the federal government, right from Buhari's era. In fact, right from Jonas's era. So what I'm saying is that as good as rotation is, let us get effective leadership from wherever he or she, even if he is located to a village, please get the best among us. That was the point I was trying to stress.
Okay.
But I'm not saying I have nothing against rotation or what have you. I'm not against it. If that's what the people want. Because you see, we are in a democracy. So whatever the majority likes, the minorities.
Okay. Well, what you've just said, Alhaji, is that if that is what the people want. Now, in Atiku Abubakar's party, former party, they kept on saying that this is the understanding we have in this party. It seemed that he was the sole, dissenter, if I can use that word, from that idea. He continued, and that is, I think, what led to the whole crisis in the PDP. No. You can't go ahead and present yourself. So there is that. As a statesman, I don't know, he didn't want to recognize that aspect of it, which is what you are really saying now. Say, look, it doesn't matter. Wherever there's a good man, you will queue up behind that good man. That's what you're saying.
Yes. But please, some of us are students of history. If you talk about PDP, the last PDP president was from the South. And by the way, Atiku left the PDP now. So it's free. It's not bound by any decision made by the PDP any longer.
Yes, it isn't.
Yeah. So, and when you look at the PDP, PDP now is not about North or South. PDP is fighting for its own survival.
All right. Okay.
And no, I think a responsible politician will aspire for the presidency of this country under PDP presently.
Okay. Edmund in Enugu, good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Yori, good morning. Are you with me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, this is a very interesting topic. But let me start by saying I hope you are hearing me.
We can hear you.
Yes. Let me start by saying that your guest is trying to be clever by half. That your guest, with all due respect, is not a true Nigerian. Yes. I said that your guest is trying to be clever by half.
Well,
that man there is not a true Nigerian.
No, you can't say that. Sir, sorry, sir.
Allow me to talk. Allow me to talk. Let me answer you.
You say
your opinion.
It is your opinion.
Yori, please allow me to speak.
Okay.
My mind.
Please go ahead. But when you are saying a person is not a Nigerian,
please,
go ahead,
listen,
sir.
I know what I mean.
I'm not interrupting you again. Go ahead.
Man is a Nigerian. I don't understand the political dynamics of Nigeria. Let me finish, please. You are interrupting me. You are interrupting me. I don't mean that the man is not a Nigerian. But he seems he's not living in Nigeria to understand the political dynamics of the Fulani. There's not a tribe. There's no tribe in Nigeria that's called Hausa Fulani. It's either he's a Fulani or he's an Hausa. Not during the election. He wants to tell us that he's Hausa Fulani in order to hoodwink the Hausas, whom they have been dominating for a very long time, the Fulanis. So the man is either Fulani or an Hausa. It cannot be Hausa Fulani. Secondly, Nigeria is not yet ripe to practice the type of democracy they practice in the United States. This is a country that is with a high illiteracy level. And it's not to tell me that he's going to support the man that will take Nigeria to the next level. Who is that man fully? Who is he fully there? That Atiku is no more in PDP, that is the template of PDP. Now that Atiku is in the other party, he can now aspire to be Nigeria. My brother, that is bunkum.
Okay.
There's unwritten constitution.
You've registered your opinion.
Listen, let me finish.
I wanted to thank you.
There's a written constitution that binds this country.
Okay. So sorry, but I want to thank you very much, Edmund, calling in from Enugu. You got all your points out. Alhaji Abubakar, you heard him.
Yeah, I heard him right. Unfortunately, maybe for whatever reason, maybe he didn't get his point right. You see, calling me by names or whatever, it doesn't provoke me. But I can assure Mr. Edelman, is calling from, is it Enugu?
Yes, from Enugu.
You see, some of my closest friends, incidentally, are from Enugu. There was a time at a seminar I was conversing for their governor, Professor Soludo, for the simple reason that he has what many politicians in Nigeria don't have, that's name recognition.
Soludo is Anambra.
Anambra, okay, Anambra, yes. Because he has name recognition. Average Nigerians knew him as CBN governor and intellectual and what have you. So there are no, I can vote for him any day. So the idea of saying that because somebody just doesn't share your opinion or you construed him that he is not patriotic, maybe he won't say I am not patriotic. The point I was just making is that I'm not conversing for anybody. This is a public forum, and anybody can bring his own ideas, and no idea is perfect. You know, nobody sent us here. We are not sent by God like a prophet, like most prophets claimed, and I believe them. So the truth of the matter is that let us face the reality.
All right.
Regardless of whether we go by rotation, which, like I said initially, I'm not against rotation. What I'm saying that any region or any ethnic group that is to present a leader should bring an effective leader.
All right.
Effective.
Okay.
I think I get
okay.
Obasanjo. You like Obasanjo or you don't like him, he's an effective leader. That's my understanding anyway. People may not share my opinion, but no angel will come and govern Nigeria. The thing is that we bring somebody with programs, verifiable programs that will take you to the next level.
Okay then.
That's the point.
We're going to have to leave it there simply because we've run out of time. But I want to thank you very much, Alhaji Abubakar Udu Idris MNI, former head of service in Kebbi State. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
So do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition